It's Monday. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Go to the chat, everybody. Go to the general chat, and just tell us where you're from again. Let's hear from everyone. Where are you guys from? Got Southern California back as usual.
Southern
California. Mexico. Got another Southern California. I wonder if there's a relationship between Lori and Rusty. They both said SoCal. Looks like it.
SoCal's big.
Chicago, Missouri. That's my state.
Yeah, sorry.
San Antonio.
Sorry about that Chiefs thing, guys.
That's all right. Most of them will get over it pretty quick when we start winning. We will.
Yeah, of course.
It'll happen. Texas, Pennsylvania. All right. Keep going, guys. Keep going. Tell us where you're from. Go to that chat. I love hearing from you. And I love the chat. I love the activity. Remember, we're going to be an active community. We got to remember that. We're going to be the most active community in cryptocurrency history. Again, not a guarantee, but that's what I believe. And I think a lot of you guys believe that too, don't you? We are going to be such an active community because this voting utility, this reward process is just going to be something that people can't resist. Everybody's going to want to be a part of it. It's going to make this community active. And let me tell you, it's the most active communities that grow the fastest, that grow the strongest. And that's what we got. And I should have started the recording before I said all that, so I'll start over. Hang in there, guys. I want to give everybody a chance to get in. It's 8:02. Let's give them, 1 or 2 minutes and we'll get going.
Yeah, we got people on, let me see, from Mexico, from the Philippines, from Belize City, Central America. I don't think I've seen that one yet. That's pretty cool, man. The international nature of this, I love it. I love the international nature of what's happening. So guys, this is going to be an incredibly consequential week for us. So we are very excited. So we're looking forward to getting you all plugged in here so we can talk to you about what's going to be happening this week and why we believe that this may be the most consequential week that we've had, right? I mean, since we launched it, but now we're talking about the things that are going to really take us into momentum. So I know Mark's going to spend some time talking about that. So grab a pen, grab a piece of paper. If you got some people that you want to get on here, let them know they want to get here as quickly as possible. Australia, Toronto, and I'm not ignoring the people from the U.S., guys. We see you, Mississippi, San Antonio, Georgia, North Carolina, Arkansas in the house. Mr. Anderson, yes, sir. Virginia, Tennessee. So New York. What's going on? West Texas, love it. Guys, fired up and excited, man. So again, we'll take Mark. What, another minute? You think?
Yeah, pretty soon. 30 seconds, maybe.
Take 30 seconds, man. So if you're just popping on and you haven't already done so, go into the Telegram group. Just represent where you're from. We love seeing that. It just gives. I like the community to get an idea too of just how big, how wide reaching, and how diverse this community is. And we're literally just getting started, tip of the iceberg. But as I've always said, anybody who knows about Sosana right now, you are ahead of the masses. You are in an incredibly privileged position. Even if you just heard about it tonight for the first time, you are.
Stop, Brian. Stop. I got to push that record button, man. You're getting good. You're getting too good. Hold on.
Yep.
Recording in progress.
All right, go for it.
Guys,
so I can start or you can. Go for it. Go for it. Sorry.
Yeah, welcome, guys. Appreciate you guys actually being here. We're super excited about the fact that we've got this incredible week ahead of us. This is going to be one of the most consequential weeks that we've ever had. And I'm talking about before or after launch. There's so many things that are happening this week that are really designed to just button up some things and drive us into momentum. And again, one of the things I was saying that I want people to understand is that if you know about Sosana right now, if you're hearing about it, even if you're hearing about it right now tonight for the first time, you are ahead of the masses. And that's where you want to be in a project like this. You want to be one of the first to know, and you are definitely one of the first to know, even if you're just finding out. You haven't missed anything. You're still here before this becomes a global sensation, guys. And this is the time you want to position yourself, and you want to be in this accumulation mode, right? That's at each phase, there is a mindset that is proper for that phase. At the phase we're in right now, you should be in the massive accumulation mode. How do I get as many Sosana tokens as I can through as many avenues as possible so I can really benefit from and reap the rewards from the growth that is expected to come? That's what you need to be thinking about. And if you are not thinking like that, start thinking like that. Create a plan, get a number in your head, and start thinking, am I going to get them because I'm going to purchase them? Am I going to get them because I'm going to try to become really, really good at the voting process and win rewards? Am I going to get them because I'm going to become a super affiliate here and get paid in Sosana tokens, or all of those things combined together? We want you guys focusing there because this is really, really exciting. This week is going to be consequential, and this month is going to be amazing. This entire month will be in complete full launch with all the elements out there. And now we are just rocking and rolling on a consistent basis, marketing, et cetera, and driving it. So, Mark, with that lead up, man, I know you got some cool things to discuss with the community. I'm going to turn the call to you, sir, and let's rock and roll, brother.
All right. Love it, Brian. Always love it. So think about this. Where are we now? Right now, the way I see this is we're a growing community. We're a community that is starting to not starting, but I mean, we've reached well over 2,500 members. And a lot of you, when you first got here, we were sitting around 400. And that was, I don't know, 3-4 weeks ago, 5 weeks, I don't know what it was. And we're starting to grow into what I call critical mass, where that place where it just takes on a life of its own and keeps growing. Like it just can't stop. Like once you start something and just can't stop, that's what I call critical mass. A lot of people have different definitions of what they call critical mass. Some people think of critical mass on this big, gigantic, massive scale. That's another type of critical mass in my book. But the kind I'm talking about is when are we at that point where this thing just takes on a life of its own? And I think all that's going to happen when a few things occur. And David sent out an announcement about this. And I know that in a growing community like we have, there's a mixture. There's some uncertainty. There's people out there that just have a little bit of uncertainty because they don't know what's going to happen, or they're like, they don't understand it. There's lots and lots of people in this community, I guarantee you, that still don't fully understand where we're going, right? And I think that's what creates the most uncertainty, is not fully understanding the vision of where we're headed and what this is. What is Sosana really, Maybe they just got here because their friend told them about it and they like the chart and they like what they're seeing and they think it's cool and they trust their friend. Okay, that's fine. But that's not enough. You need to really, really understand what Sosana is and what makes it so special, right? And I think that's where the uncertainty brews. There's also a few things that need to be done. We got work to do, don't we? We have work to do. And the work's getting done. That's all I can tell you. We're not going to stop till it's done. And then once it's done, that's when things are really, that's where the big, big potential is. That's where things really take off. And so you got to think about where we are now. And then, of course, I love this community because it's also flooded with optimism. There's so many people that do get what we're doing and where we're headed. And I'm just excited to have each and every one of you guys as part of this community. And I think that's most of the people. The people that I've talked to, the way I see people talking in the Telegram, yes, there's some uncertainty, but there's lots more optimism kind of flowing over that. And where are we headed? Let's go to David Track's announcement that he sent out Friday. Okay, I'm just going to read it to you guys if you haven't read it. David Track specifically says, Sosana, the sprint to October 6th. Next week, which was Friday, he basically said this, and here we are. We're in next week, right? September 15th through the 21st. Version 1 airdrops begin 30-day daily drip. My good friend Curtis Abbott told me, don't call it airdrops, call it air drips. Because that's what it really is. This is not an airdrop. A lot of people were concerned about the airdrop. Oh, it's a big drop. Use the word drop when you're talking about a crypto community. They don't even want to hear it, right? When it comes to this context, this is an air drip. It is not an airdrop. It's an air drip. And it is going to last 30 days, and it is going to start at some point this week. The deadline has just passed, 9 p.m. Eastern time, for everybody in version 1 to make sure that they get us their wallets. Let us know what they're anticipating. We know what we think they should anticipate, but we want to make sure we have this clear line of communication, because that's what this dev team does in crypto, unlike anybody else. We have a clear line of communication with our community. We're not behind some curtain. We are right here in the open. That's why we do Zoom calls every night, Monday through Thursday, how many crypto communities, how many dev teams, and how many, developers or founders, whatever you want to call them, are doing their Zooms and communicating that clearly to their community. I just don't see it. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I just don't see it in crypto. And I hope you guys can really appreciate that. That clear line of communication is going to carry us all the way to the top. We know what our responsibility is. We're here to do it. And we're not going to stop doing it until we reach our goals. So you guys got to realize that where we are right now in the midst of this is that time you want to be at. Did you want to get into this thing when there was no more uncertainty left, where everything is just exploding? Then you want to get in? No, you want to get in when there's a little uncertainty, there's a little unfinished business, there's some things developing, but we got this massive, amazing vision and concept that's coming to fruition right before your eyes. Just hasn't happened fully yet. Isn't that where you want to be?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And if that's where you want to be and you agree with me on that, you shouldn't be holding back telling other people, because you're thinking, man, I don't want to tell other people till we're already killing it. Oh, thanks. Appreciate it, buddy. I want my friends to tell me about an opportunity when we're here, not when we're already to the moon, And I'm not going to ever, I will tell you guys this because of what we have. I'm never going to say, oh, we've arrived, because I really think the potential of this, I don't use the word unlimited because there's probably no such thing as unlimited, right? But I just feel like there's so much potential here that we can transcend most people's expectations, especially where we're at, And again, this is just my opinion. Folks, I got to reiterate, this is not financial advice. There are no guarantees of income here. We're just sharing our vision. And then you've got to listen to all that information, look at the facts, look at the information, and make a decision for yourself. Where do you think we're headed? What do you think we can do? What's the potential? Let me get back to his announcement. So version 1 air drips begin this week. That's going to be a 30-day daily drip, which makes people realize, okay, we're not just going to throw all those tokens out into the community, right? It's going to come out very slowly, and that's going to give people a lot more confidence. Liquidity lock. A lot of people, you guys were all talking about, what about this liquidity lock? When's it going to happen? Why? You got to realize that there's a very important function that has to occur in and from the liquidity pool that requires scripting as it pertains to taxes. And until that's done, tested, and vetted, we're not going to lock the liquidity pool, because once you lock it, you can't unlock it. Okay, so that is an important thing to consider, but we know that that's happening soon and considered to be this week as well, as David announced. Website 2.0 refresh, how-tos, voting page, affiliate entry, PR kickoff. Let's see, press plus wider awareness. Okay, so obviously that's all the things that we're working on. Starting Monday, September 29th, affiliate program plus Sosana community go live. September 29th, wow, just 2 weeks away from today, that we could have our affiliate program and the community hub inside that affiliate plan going live. That's an exciting time. Referrals on KYC plus $50 gating, verified profiles. Start building your tree ahead of voting. Okay, folks, I say almost all of you guys on this call right now, in this Zoom, you're all affiliates, you're all pre-enrollees, right? And a lot of you are like, again, it's real easy to get caught up in the waiting game. I'm just telling you, once this thing hits full stride, you're going to wish you didn't wait. You're going to be like, man, I should have told Joe. I should have told Susan. I should have told Sally. I should have told Mike and Andy and Steven. My friends, I should have told them about this, because look at where we're at now. Not that it's too late. It's not going to be even remotely too late at that point. But the bottom line is, why wait? Take it, go for it. Monday, October 6th, the first Monday, nominating and voting go live. So that means we're going to be able to start nominating projects during that time. So the 2-week period, the way I understand that, begins, right? You got to hold $50 to vote, $500 to nominate, as you guys know. Live walkthrough that day, so everyone's ready. That's going to be a fun day. October 6th, live walkthrough through the system. Folks, that's going to be fun. That's going to be a really fun Zoom to be on. I can't wait for that. If you've been waiting for the liquidity lock, this is your green light. Proof lands next week. Okay, he was just saying that Friday, so that's good stuff. Turn on notifications. It's happening fast. I love it. Okay, great announcement. I mean, really positive, awesome. Everything's going to move forward from there. How successful can you be in the midst of uncertainty? Think about it. If you have uncertainty right now, it's understandable. How successful are you if uncertainty is your rule right now, if that's where you're at? I think, I hope at least, and I want you guys to tell me in the Telegram, I hope that you guys agree that at least these Zoom calls have helped you create much more certainty. Would you guys agree with that? Just answer that in the Telegram. Let me know. Have these Zoom calls really helped you develop more certainty in where we're headed and why we're headed there? Because honestly, guys, I was just talking to Brian earlier today. What we have left to do is not that hard. It's just a matter of getting it done. It's not like, I mean, it's not like what I would call rocket science. It's work, but it's just work that needs to get done. So it's just a matter of time. I mean, the way I see this thing is it's just a matter of time. It's a matter of time before the liquidity pool gets locked. It's a matter of time before the airdrops are done and they're all out. It's a matter of time before we launch this voting reward and this amazing affiliate plan. All of those things in my book seem to me like just a matter of time. So what is it that would cause uncertainty right now? I guess it's just you got to see it happen. And then some people just in their own minds, they just like seeing is believing, right? But I want you guys to get a sense from this Zoom and these Zooms and bring people to these Zooms so that we can create more certainty in the community, because that's all, you know, the more certainty we have, the better. And I will tell you, as we get closer to these things happening, when they actually happen, the utility launches, everything's in full swing. There's not going to be a lot more room for faith at that time. It's just going to be certainty now because it's sitting right in front of them, already happening. So in my opinion, the greatest possible opportunity you have right now is now, in the midst of what is about to happen. Because once it happens, folks, I believe, again, this is not financial advice, so don't quote me on it. You guys can just, I'm not telling you anything that gives you absolute 100% guarantees of anything. But what I will tell you is I have a lot of certainty right now because I'm seeing the process unfold. I know that it is just a matter of time. Even if the deadlines aren't met perfectly, okay, I still have that certainty. It's not going to affect me like, oh, this didn't happen exactly when we thought it would happen. That's not going to take away my certainty because I still feel like these things are inevitable. And you guys can beg to differ if you want to, but think about it that way. Now, Gustavo asked a good question. Can you explain the program? I have new people. I guess you mean to new people, it says. Can you explain the program to new people? I'll explain it as quickly as I can. Think about this. What is Sosana? Sosana started off initially as my partner, David Track, called me up one day and said, because we know that there's this outrageous market right now that is just saturated with meme coins. I mean, it is a meme coin frenzy right now, especially on the Solana ecosystem. So my friend calls me up and he says, I've got the absolute perfect meme of all meme coins, and it's going to be relative to people and they're going to love it. And I'm like, what do you have? We're going to call it Sosana. I immediately knew it was on the Solana network. Just take out the L, right? So I said, what is that? What do you mean, Sosana? What do you mean? Shiny object syndrome and nothing accomplished. Now, when I tell people that, almost every single time people laugh, they smile. Why? Because they relate to it. One of the most important things that a successful meme coin project can have is, number one, it's very relatable. It's relevant. People understand it. And then it gets into whether it's political or entertaining. And what Dave did is he went to work for the next several weeks of just creating this, meme coin with all this entertainment, humor, relevancy. It was funny. And then we came up with the idea of actually how to solve the problem. So now we have this amazing meme coin concept, which in and of itself could be successful. But on top of that, we created a solution to a problem. Now, when you have a problem like this, shiny object syndrome is a massive epidemic in crypto right now. What if you could provide a solution to that problem? This is what we came up with. Okay. We created this community-driven safe haven that allows new members that come into Sosana to actually be a part of what we call an election process. Now, this is really neat because think about it. If you hold $500 in Sosana, you can nominate your favorite project on the Solana ecosystem. Because let's face it, even though thousands of new projects are coming out, not just meme coins, I'm talking about every project on Solana, thousands of projects are coming out every single day. And it's just saturated with junk. And 99.9% of that, probably more, are just garbage. They're not going to go anywhere. They don't even have dev teams. They're not real. They're just junk, right? And so because of that problem, you have people feeling like they don't even know where to go. I mean, they're just like rolling the dice. What if you could come into a community safe haven where during a 2-week process, the people holding at least $500 worth of Sosana, which is an automatic staking mechanism, which drives up buy pressure into the Sosana token, which is good for the whole community. What if you had those people nominating those projects, and then if they hold, people that participate in the vote hold $50 worth of Sosana, connect their wallet to the dApp, and during that 2-week period, they start to, Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern, Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, all 25 of the nominated projects are revealed to the community to vote on. And so from 7 p.m. Saturday to 7 p.m. Monday, there's a 48-hour window where people can vote for their favorite project. And the winner of that vote is, the person that nominated the winning token is going to get $500 reward in Sosana. And folks, I could stop right there, and we've already done something that no one's ever done in crypto history. We have a safe haven community that all comes together with one purpose in mind, and that is to find quality projects. What is your number one goal in crypto? Your number one goal as an investor in cryptocurrency is number one, to find quality projects, and number two, to find them at the earliest possible time. That's your goal. And that's what the community is going to come together when they take those 25 nominated projects and they vote on those projects, those that were nominated, right? And everyone's goal is to decide which one of these projects is a super quality project and at a really, really good time. So they're going to be looking at that to make that decision. And then what's going to happen is we're going to come up Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern, we're going to reveal the winner of that vote. And everybody's going to connect their wallets, and they're all going to see what happens. Now, keep in mind, what is feeding, there's a tremendous reward that's actually happening in the process. What's feeding that is we came up with what's called a 3% transaction tax on every single transaction, whether it's a buy, sell, or even a transfer. So even if you sent your tokens into another wallet, there's a 3% fee every time. Now that's pretty amazing because that can add up very quick. And I'll tell you, that 3% goes to 3 different purposes, actually 4. But the first one it goes to is what we call the stability wallet. It's the purpose of it is to build up the price of Sosana, the whole purpose of it. The second reason is marketing. And you can cut that in half, and I'll tell you later. But about 50% of that 1% goes towards marketing. And the marketing can get huge, okay, that way. And we feel like we already have an affiliate plan coming out, right? Most of you know that. And that's going to pour gas on the fire. But whenever you have marketing on top of that, it's going to, I mean, folks, the possibilities are incredible. I'll get into that later. But the third reason that I really want to share with you is that where that third 1% comes into play is that every time a transaction occurs, 1% buy, sell, or transfer is going to what we call a degen voter bonus wallet. This is a wallet that we believe can get bigger and bigger and bigger. And so let's go back to the selection process where the winners is revealed Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So people log in, they see the winner. If you voted for the winning token, you're going to get to share in that wallet, because that wallet not only is going to reveal that winning token, the token that won the vote, but an hour later at 8 p.m. Eastern, it's going to literally take everything that's shown up in that degen voter bonus wallet, and it's going to go onto the DEX, and it's going to buy that token that won the vote, and it's going to airdrop that token to all the people that voted for that token. So now not only do we have this amazing safe haven community with the same goal in mind, and that is motivated to find quality projects at the best time, throw out the shiny objects and uplift the really quality projects, right? We have that mechanism which is going to solve the problem, but we're going to allow people to get rewarded for it in ways that we think could potentially create a whole new income stream completely outside of just the Sosana token, which is going to push incredible buy pressure into the Sosana token, because this is going to create a community where everyone's active. Almost every single person in this community, we're going to have the most active community in crypto history based on what I believe will be because of the participation in this election, where we are forging those nominated projects through an election process where the cream rises to the top, and the goal of the community is to find that quality project. That is the name of the game, folks. And that's that's what we believe is going to give people just an exponentially greater chance of finding quality projects to build your portfolio with and hopefully create wealth. That's our goal. And everybody has that goal in crypto, don't they? That's what everybody wants to do. And we believe that at Sosana, we're going to help people do that better than any other project in crypto history because of this utility and the way it's going to work. So I hope that makes sense. Now, there's another really neat aspect that happens, is what I call a trigger, kind of like a trigger point, a tipping point, where this wallet, we know at some point, we believe this DGen voter bonus wallet is going to get so big, and and I don't know when that is. I'm not going to predict it. I'm not going to tell you how much is in there. It could be $1 million. It could be $500,000. I don't know what it's going to be. But we believe that at some point there will be a scenario where that wallet's going to get so big that it's going to potentially, if the community votes for the right project, potentially move that project exponentially, right? And then there's a whole nother synergy that occurs and that begins to occur as a result of that process, where we start to attract, we think, everybody in Solana. We think that everybody in the Solana ecosystem is going to find out about Sosana because of this mechanism, because of this reward that people are going to get. And I can tell you, I've heard stories from people already, just from our beta testing that we did in our first project. You can call it a beta test. If you want to go back and find out the story of what happened, I'm not going to get into that right now, but I will tell you what happened there was there were literally people that were doing something that had never happened in crypto history, where they were just holding $50 worth of Sosana, and they were getting a reward because they voted for the winning token. They were literally getting a reward that was like 7 or 8 times more than the token that they were holding. Now think about that. I have never in my life seen that happen. And I believe that's going to create some of the kinds of stories, success stories. You know, Brian says this too. Success stories are what sell a project more than anything. And I believe we're going to be churning out so many success stories as a result of this mechanism. You're going to hear from people months down the road that say, I got in, I had $50, I got into Sosana, I voted for the winning project, and I actually received a tremendous reward. And not only that, I held on to that project because I really liked it. I believed in it. I thought it was great. The community loved it. And now that project that was airdropped to me, let's say it was $300, $500, I don't know, $1,000, has gone up like 10x already. And now I'm making more money just from the utility than I am just holding the Sosana token. Listen, folks, think about this, what I'm about to tell you. Think about this. How many projects are more than just their token? When you buy a crypto project, buy into it, and which means basically you buy their token, right? What are you looking for? You're looking for the price to go up. And once it goes up a certain amount, you're going to sell it because that's your goal, is to make a profit, right? Folks, Sosana, that's not what Sosana is about. Now, that's going to happen in a huge way for people. I'm not saying that. I believe, without making any guarantees or financial advice, that the Sosana token, I told you guys it has a well over $100 potential, and I showed you guys why I believe that. Okay, down the road, I think that Sosana, I think this is a multi-billion-dollar market cap project in the making, and I believe that Sosana can go beyond $100 a token. Now, that's incredible and that's exciting, but there's going to be a lot of people that get in at $100 then, right? And why are they going to be here? They're not going to necessarily be here for the token at that point. They're going to be here because this utility is off the chart. Unbelievable. They're going to be hearing stories, in my opinion, of people that have had so much success just from the utility. And that is why I believe that there's no reason why we should stop at $100. And I also believe that that gives Sosana the opportunity to transcend the industry, meaning that we aren't necessarily like 99.999%, if not 100%, of other token projects in crypto are completely and utterly reliant on Bitcoin. Bitcoin being successful. If Bitcoin is successful, the liquidity flows into other projects below it, and that's where they get their liquidity. It starts with Bitcoin, right? We've seen that over and over and over with every crypto cycle. Again, I could be wrong because this is theory. This is not factual, but you tell me if you think I'm right. Is that I believe that because of what we're doing, we could transcend the industry. Why? Well, because think about it. When people come in and they have a tremendous experience getting involved with this voting process, which I think so many people are going to have inevitably, I don't see them going away. I don't see them saying, you know what, I don't really want to hang around for the next couple of weeks. I've had enough of these rewards. I'm ready to move on. I don't like rewards. I don't think that's going to happen, folks. I think what's going to happen is people are going to keep coming back and bringing their friends with them. That's what I think. And that's why I think Sosana has the potential to continue to grow, even in the midst of a down market. And again, that is it's not just my opinion, but I'm giving you an opinion, right? This is what I truly believe. So I hope that gives you, I need to go back to who asked. Yeah, Gustavo, I hope that gives you a good explanation for your new people that you brought on tonight. Welcome, folks, by the way, all of you who are new, welcome to this, and I hope that you guys gleaned a lot of good information from that. Brian, what can you add? You've always got something great to add that's even more exciting. What do you got, Brian?
Man, I'm just listening because, first of all, I love the interaction with the community, right? Because I love the fact that no matter where you and I are at, people can always reset us. So I appreciate Gustavo popping there and saying, "Hey, that's cool, everything you're saying. But listen, I got new people here. Can you go over it again for the people who are here first?" Because I think that's always important to make sure we reset at some point and realize that there are people who are continuously building this. And guys, we're going to continue to get more and more tools for you. We just had that napkin presentation pared down. So we're going to get that out to the community here shortly. So it's just a napkin presentation. So you can send that video out to people as well and just use that as a way to present to brand new people. But here's what I want to say, man. A couple of things. One is I want to remind everybody that, all of our experience, right, shapes our perspective. And to some degree, we're always prisoners of our own perspective. I have people who will call me and say, "Man, I don't know, I hope the price doesn't go down anymore." And then literally, while I'm on the phone with them, somebody's texting me saying, "Give me a call when you get a chance." And I get off the phone with them and they say, "Man, Brian, do me a favor, man. I know you're not providing inside information, but just from your perspective, man, do you think the price will go down further? Because I'm hoping it does, so I can buy even more tokens at a better price. If it's not going to go down any further, then I'll just buy them now. But man, if it goes down even further, I can get more tokens at a better price." Two different people observing the exact same situation. One of them looks at it as a negative. The other one is like, "I'm hoping and praying it goes down," because that second person has been here before, and that's the difference, right? They know where they're at. They're in this massive accumulation phase, and they're thinking, "Man, how can I go out and acquire more? How can I go out and acquire more?" Guys, I'm telling you this, man. Myself and Mark, somebody has actually said to myself, and I know people have said to Mark, "Why are you guys so relaxed?" And I think we're so relaxed because we are not living in this space right now. We are living in the how quickly can we get to $10? We are living in the what's it going to be like when it's at $100? Like, that's where we are, man. We're not in this space of looking at the chart every 12 seconds and trying to figure out if it's doing this or doing that and living or dying, being completely up. If it goes up by 2 pennies, you're excited. If it goes down by 2 pennies, you're sad. Like, we are so far beyond that because we know what's coming. And when Mark, when you read off that announcement about what was coming, here's when we're going to do this with the drip, the air drip. I love that term, by the way, the air drip, right?
Yeah, that's good. Curtis Abbott's got to get credit for that.
Nice. Congratulations, Curtis. And then it was like, okay, and then we're going to do this with the scripts, and then we locked the liquidity pool. And I already know, and of the people that are like, "Hey, the moment that this happens, we've got all this, this revenue coming in. The moment that this happens, we've got all these investors." We already know all that stuff, and maybe that's why, man. Which is why when you said do these AMAs, do they make you feel better? They should, because this is our attempt every single day, at least 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday, to try to get you to where we are. We know we're behind the scenes. We know we talk to everybody. We know we have the full picture, and maybe you only have part of the picture. Maybe the chart is all you have, right? So for you, it's like it's all about the chart, but you don't know why things are where they are. You don't know what's coming. You don't know what the explosive metrics that are put into place. You don't understand what we're going to do with the marketing law, nor do you know how to go out and communicate this to other people. That's why we're doing these AMAs, to keep you informed so you can get beyond that and get to where you need to be at, which is, man, if this is really going to be $1, then $5, then $10, then $50, then $100, and right now it's 30 cents, what should I be doing right now to set myself up so that when that run happens, I am getting the best amount of benefit for me and my family? How should I be acting? What should I be talking to? Who should I be talking to? What are the things I need to learn about crypto? If I'm brand new to this space, and Sosana is the first thing that I've ever done, and these guys are throwing around words like liquidity pool, and air drips and drops and all that, and I have no idea what they're talking about. What can I do to bring up my level of understanding so I can be excited about what they're talking about, and then I can act accordingly? Guys, this is going to be so much fun, and we're just enjoying it. And I know Mark said, hey, we have 400 members maybe a few weeks ago. Now there's like 2,500 members in our community. And I just think forward to when we've got hundreds of thousands and then millions of people, because there will never be a time that a person who is involved in crypto says, no, I would not like to have an incredible edge every 2 weeks. That's never going to happen. Every single person who hears about this and comes to understand what it is going to be like, I'm all over it. But with that in mind, I'm going to leave you guys with something that was a game changer for me in this industry. And it was when one of my mentors explained to me that all great ideas, right, and all big opportunities go through 3 phases. Okay. And this is important for you to understand. If you guys are right, I want to write this down. Phase number 1, ridicule. That's right. Phase number 1 is always ridicule. People rarely react well to new stuff. They don't. When people are changing the way things are being done, even if they're revolutionized the way that things are being done, people ridicule. That's phase number 1. Phase number 2 is opposed, sometimes even violently opposed, right? And we're going to give you an example of this here in a second. And then phase number 3 is self-evident. Is when now all of a sudden people are like, of course, that's a better way to do things, right? Of course, that's a better way. So I'll give you Bitcoin as an example. Bitcoin came out. They talked about they were going to change the game. Bitcoin launched out the first purchase that was ever made in Bitcoin into a physical product. Bitcoin was 0.003. It was 1/3 of a penny. And people laughed about that. They laughed about it, and they continued to laugh about it for years, because Bitcoin went up and down, and they were like, oh, you're in that digital money. That's stupid. It's crazy. What are you ever going to do with that, right? Once Bitcoin started getting some real momentum back in around 2017 to 2018, you may not remember the news cycle, but they tried to kill Bitcoin. They really did. They tried to strangle it because they were afraid. They said, man, that this stuff is never going to work, that people are going through a mass hysteria. It's like the same thing as the tulip bubble that happened back hundreds of years ago. It was all over all the news stations. It was on talk shows. Warren Buffett came out and said it's a figment of people's imagination. It was like every solid financial guy they could find, they found to say Bitcoin is absolutely worthless. The crypto craze is mass hysteria. It's going to die a painful death any minute now, and people are going to need therapy to recover from it. You know what happened? Nobody cared. The people who were all into crypto were all in. The people who were hodlers were hodling, right? And then all of a sudden you start hearing BlackRock is buying billions of dollars of Bitcoin, and all these other big institutions that were trying to kill it said, okay, that didn't work. It's not going anywhere. This is a real thing. This is not a fad. It is a trend, and it is not going to change. This is the future of money. And now all of a sudden you got governments around the world talking about creating their own cryptocurrencies, to replace their fiat money. You've got, the U.S. saying, hey, we're going to have a Bitcoin reserve. It's completely changed now. It is now completely into the fabric of the global financial system. But a lot of people couldn't take the ridicule. A lot of people dropped out when it was the opposition and the violent opposition, and they regret it now, because now that it's self-evident, all those people who didn't buy it early regret not buying it early. All those people who bought it early, but when they started getting the pushback, they sold it because they were embarrassed. I don't want anybody to know I'm doing that digital money stuff. They regret their choices. It all goes through these three phases, guys. Ridicule, then oppose, sometimes violently oppose, and then self-evidence. And all of the big money, and this is key, all of the people who get the wealthiest are the people who engage in the first two phases. So if you put that together, you realize that if you're really trying to become wealthy, you are out there looking for the opportunity to be ridiculed and violently opposed, right? Isn't that? And that's how you got to think about it, right? So if you're involved in Sosana right now, no one else knows about it. You're talking to some people. I saw somebody put it in the Telegram group that said, yeah, I already told some of my friends and everything, and they're not interested. They laughed at me. Awesome. You know you were at the right place, but also at the right time, right? And we're going to have that. We're going to have a point where we are becoming such market makers because our community is so big, and it's really driving up the prices of some of these other tokens as our community starts doing these 2-week voting sessions. It's going to make some other people mad. They're gonna be mad about that. They're gonna say, man, it's not fair, man. These guys have all the traction. Everybody's joining Sosana, and Sosana's got all the traction, and they're gonna be fearful for their tokens and where they are because they're not doing things right. They're not being nominated by the Sosana community, and they're gonna start coming at us real hard. Why not, right? Violent opposition. But if you guys realize that, if you can understand that's what's going on, you're gonna be so excited about where we're gonna be in self-evidence, because in self-evidence, that's massive, massive momentum. That's when everybody says, hey, man, can't beat them, join them. They start piling in. And if you were here now, if you were around at a 30 cents or a 31 cents or a 32 cent Sosana token, and it's sitting there at 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 or $100 and climbing, you and your family will be done for life. So think about that, guys. Ridicule, violently opposed, self-evident. You want to be in those first two phases if you really want to win. You're here before everyone else. Do not waste this moment in time because you'll never get it back. So with that said, Mark, I'm going to turn the call back to you, sir.
That is excellent. Great points all the way around, Brian. I appreciate you, brother. So, you know what, folks? I'm going to open it up right now. I just want to take just a little bit more time, maybe the next 5 to 10 minutes, to answer some questions. Are there any questions that you guys want to put in the Telegram that I can help answer? Me and Brian can answer for you. Give us some questions. Yep, I agree, Tommy. It's only a matter of time, brother. It's going to be permanently locked, which is the same thing as that. It says him. Okay. Hey, him. So it's going to be the liquidity pool burned or just locked. It's going to be locked permanently, which is the same thing as burned in terms of that. In context, that terminology is the same. Start receiving coin drip this October. No, it's going to happen hopefully this week, Israel, a lot sooner than October, brother. Anybody else have some questions real quick before we call it a night?
Hey, by the way, the professor dropped the napkin presentation, and I appreciate you, sir. So
oh yeah, for sure. Thanks, Professor.
For you guys,
yep.
For you guys who want to get that.
Yep, he stripped it out for us. We appreciate your work, brother. Oh, Gustavo's saying, remind them about the people who didn't vote for the winning project. Hey, great reminder. Brian, you explain that better than I do. Just tell them.
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, there'll be no losers is what it comes down to. People will vote, as Mark said, and then at 7 o'clock, every single person in our community who has at least $50 or more of Sosana tokens, whether they are involved in the vote or not, but they have $50 or more, they will all be able to see what the winning token was. So they'll see that. They'll say, oh, XYZ token is the winner. Okay. And they will also know that we're going to make a purchase of that token for the full value of the DGen voter wallet at 8 o'clock. So think about the math. Think about the time zone here. 7 o'clock, they know XYZ token is the winner. 8 o'clock, they know we're buying, and let's say in this example, $100,000 worth of XYZ tokens, so we can divvy them up evenly amongst the people who won. So that's congratulations to the people who won. But they've got information now that they can get in front of, right? $100,000 purchase coming into a small cap token in 1 hour. What do you think is going to happen to the value and the price of that token when that $100,000 purchase is made? If you are like most people and you believe, again, we're not allowed to make guarantees, not as the team here behind Sosana, but if you are like most reasonable people and you believe that $100,000 into a small cap token will indeed increase the price, you've got 1 hour to act upon that information. What are you very likely to do? And we know what you're very likely to do, right? Which is buy that token. Keep in mind, every single person in Sosana will be getting the same information as long as they have $50 or more worth of Sosana. And if they're all acting together and drawing the same conclusion and going and buying that token for a full 1 hour to get in front of that $100,000 purchase, that is a price that is going to receive a lot of buy pressure, which takes tokens upwards, right? So you're going to be in position now to make sure that we're setting it up where there are no losers. Either you win the vote, right? Or you don't win the vote, but you still capitalize on the information and you still have an opportunity to have a really good and successful day, right? And here's the great part. As more and more people hear about that, as they start realizing every 2 weeks, Sosana is producing some incredible edge, an information edge to you being able to go out there and select the right token at exactly the right moment. You're going to see more and more people joining. And as they're joining and they're coming on board and they're buying Sosana tokens so they can participate, that's more buys, sells, transfers of the token. That's more of the 3% taxes being collected. That's more of that 1% of tax going into the DGen voter wallet. That's increasing the size of those bonuses. And eventually we're going from having maybe $50,000 in a vote to $100,000 to $1 million to millions of dollars. And that's going to create more and more buzz, not just within Sosana, but even in the external crypto world. As people start seeing these incredible tokens trending and moving, they're going to want to jump on board, even if they don't know what's happening. And that's going to benefit us because our people get the information first. So there are no losers. In fact, everybody with $50 or more Sosana is going to have the opportunity to win every 2 weeks. We said again, you guys know we are very legal in our speak, if you will. Our attorney listens in on these. We're not allowed to make guarantees. Like I guarantee you what's going to happen, but we are allowed to say if you are a reasonable person and you understand the dynamics of crypto and you understand what makes a price go up versus go down, you can use your own discernment to figure out what's going to happen as the Sosana community is moving within that 1 hour to basically get in front of this information and this big buys every single 2 weeks. What's going to happen to those prices and what can happen for you and your assets that you've purchased in that hour to get yourself in a position to get a real financial win. So that is the answer to the question, guys. And again, we're going to talk more and more about this, especially as we go through this week and we button up some of those things that Mark read earlier. And then it's going to be all hands on deck, full focus on just how do you set yourself up utilizing the affiliate program to take the best advantage, and what should you be doing right now to get yourself in a preparation mode for the first and subsequent votes, and what are we going to do from our part to make sure we're driving the message of Sosana out to the world and continuing to build this community until it runs into a perpetual motion and you guys start to see that reflected in your portfolio. So hopefully that answered your question. Throwing it back to you, sir.
All right. Awesome, Brian. Appreciate that. So someone asked, it says building faceless wealth. Haven't seen you before. Welcome. It says, are tokens in the winning project purchased with funds in our wallet or via swap of SOL? Both. So they're going to be bought with Solana tokens that have filled up into that, into those funds have filled up in that wallet. That DGen voter bonus wallet is going to buy it with that. So those will be bought with Solana through that wallet. Let's see. Yep, almost 2,000 holders. Wow, awesome. Great to hear that old growth. Appreciate you, brother. Can you go through the voting process again? You know what? Not tonight, but you can watch the recording of this. You're going to be able to see it, Bridget. So thanks for the question, but I'm going to let you watch this when we send out the recording, which will be later tonight or early tomorrow. Okay. So just look for that. And there's other ones too, but I think this was one of the most recent ones and we hadn't done it quite like that for a while. So I'm glad we did that tonight. I think we were overdue. So that was good. What's the difference between the 149 and 249 membership levels? Okay. it's definitely not something I can go into like detail right now. Brian, do you know where the best place they can get that information for what's the difference between those levels of basic and premium membership when it comes to the affiliate plan? Do we have a really good outline for that right this moment?
We have. I tell you what, I'm working on an actual PowerPoint presentation right now to show everybody the difference between the basic and the premium level. I will tell you though, your number one focus right now, if you're here right now, you don't have to worry about that because you're going to be in position to be a founder, which will guarantee you premium level access for life for one time of $99. But anybody after we get to 1,000 or after our first 48 hours, whichever one comes there first, they're going to have to make a choice between basic and premium. And we will actually make sure you understand all the different access points that you get, guys. So we're trying to find out a simplified way to present this in a PowerPoint. We'll have it up as a tool for everyone, and then you'll be able to know. And then, of course, we'll have it on the website, too, once we get to that basic and premium membership time after we're signing up the people for founders. So great question. That is coming not just soon, but very soon.
Okay, and I believe Old Growth is in there answering questions that I really appreciate because you said, how do you, Austin asked, how do you show proof of liquidity lock? And the way I understand it is that that particular pool is designated towards a wallet, kind of like a burn wallet. That's kind of the way I understand it. I could be wrong about that though. I'll admit I am not an expert on, being able to show people, hey, here's what you look at. But I know that when I go onto places like Dex Screener and Dex Tools, they will show the liquidity pool, and then there'll be this little yellow lock that's there. And that's one way I know that you can do it. And I know that there's certain types of locks. You can lock it permanently, which is what we'll be doing. It will be permanently locked. Or there's temporary. Some people say, well, our liquidity pool's locked for 2 years. Honestly, I don't know why you wouldn't do anything but lock it permanently, because there's no crypto company out there that has any business touching those funds at any time. The purpose those liquidity pools are specifically for the community, right? And it will be locked, and you'll know it. Trust me, there won't be any doubt. You'll know it. Okay, I think that's the end of questions. We're getting real close towards the end of the hour. I want to give everybody a big thanks for coming out. Keep participating, and listen, keep sharpening the axe. Don't stop coming to these calls. I know you can't make every single Zoom, but stay plugged in and get more people plugged in, because really that's how we grow, and that's what happens. And right now, again, you're seeing that steady growth until we hit that critical mass where it just explodes. That hasn't happened quite yet, but I think we're getting closer by the day. And I also think that whenever we launch the voter utility and the affiliate plan and everything's in play, folks, the ship, in my opinion, is going to sail and it's not going to come back. So I hope that you will take advantage of this time now, because it is such a short window. I mean, David got out the announcement. Our time frame is very, very short. But thank you again for everybody coming on. And we will see you on the call tomorrow night. Bring your friends, and we'll see you then.
Thanks, guys.